My friend Cameron really loves capturing photos, but the only problem is that they're not all that great with regards to the final edited product. So he asked me to give him a little tutorial on Adobe Lightroom. Now this is an app for iPhone and Android, and it makes your photos absolutely wonderful. So we're here at Bunkhouse Cafe to go through a tutorial. Let's begin. Welcome to Discover Smartphone Photography, the show that's all about having fun, creating incredible photos, editing those photos to perfection, all within your iPhone or Android. Cameron, good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you, Mark. How are you doing?
Oh, pretty good.
Good.
And
welcome.
in fact, in a few minutes, even better, because you got me my favorite cappuccino.
That's right. I did. I heard you like the cappuccino with 18% cream.
You are right, sir.
Hey, and welcome to the Bunkhouse, which I know you've been to already a few times.
Oh, I love the Bunkhouse. It's such a great atmosphere, and we can do some really cool stuff.
Yeah. So exactly, staff helped me bring this bad boy out from the back. I'm excited to look at some photos and to see your editing process and how I can, go from an amateur photo editor to maybe something more and try to learn as much as I can. So.
Yeah, well, Lightroom's perfect.
Awesome. No, I appreciate it, and I can't wait to get feedback.
Okay, let's begin. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the photo. Now, by the way, where was this photo taken?
This was in St. Andrews. It's a little cove called Johnson's Cove, so it's just right outside of St. Andrews. So,
cool.
Yeah, a little special place.
Okay, that's great. So, with regards to the picture, the first thing that I like to explain to people is that Lightroom, in my opinion, is the best tool for editing photos. Now, the first thing I see when I'm looking at your photo, and this happens to a lot of people, including me, is that when I'm doing photo shoots of water is always flat. Mm-hmm. It's never, like a couple degrees off.
That's right.
So what I'm going to do first is we're going to straighten the horizon.
Yeah.
Now the horizon is a little bit crooked. So what we like to do is just go to our crop tool.
Okay.
And within crop, at the very bottom, this little wheel.
Yeah.
You see that change?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is just make sure that the water is horizontal.
Okay.
And that is the first thing we're going to do. Now the crop tool is really effective because oftentimes we have too much what we call extraneous information. Mm-hmm. Take a look at what's on the side there. Now those are what I would call distracting elements. So that's why I'm going to crop them out. Now it's true, it does represent sort of a fishing community feel, but the problem is you didn't include enough of it. We need a lot more.
That's right.
So that's why we're just going to get rid of it. Cool. Now, one really important thing, and this messes everybody up, is that when they want to crop, and this is in both Lightroom and some other software, some other apps, when they crop in, they realize that their picture is getting a lot smaller. And that is because, and this is consistent, there's a little lock icon. The lock icon sometimes is locked by default.
Yeah.
So what we have to do is unlock it. So I'm going to press the lock button, and as you can see now, it's unlocked. Now, watch what happens.
Oh.
See how the crop is completely different?
I get it. Cool.
And the reason why this is so important, because you'll never get a custom crop if that lock icon is indeed locked. Mm-hmm. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to crop this so that there's nothing that's distracting in the picture. Mm-hmm. What do you think about the sky? I think it's really dramatic and really nicely done.
It is, because it's not usually a sky you'd see in St. Andrews. It's much more open. You would always get more sunny shots, so I do find that unique as well in its environment.
Yeah. Now, what we're going to do, just to make it a more powerful picture, is we're going to follow the rule of thirds. Mm-hmm. Now, the rule of thirds comes in many different ways, but in this case, what I want is 2/3 of the picture to be water and land, and only 1/3 of the picture to be sky.
Okay.
So watch what happens when I'm in my crop mode. I'm just going to bring the crop down, and do you see how we have the tic-tac-toe grid?
I do, yes.
Yeah, and this is called the rule of thirds, and it's really effective for composing. So we're going to bring it down so the rule of we would call it the upper horizontal rule of thirds line is exactly at the horizon, and that horizon is where the land meets the water in the distance. So this is essentially what we're going to come up with regards to our crop. And this makes your image far more powerful. Okay, so in order to accept this crop, we're going to go down to the bottom right. Do you see that little check mark? By the way, do you like this, first of all?
Oh, I think this is, I've learned more about this picture than I have any other kind of artistic experience. So
Excellent.
This is cool.
Okay, so
I see the check mark.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the check mark. And this is what we call a classically composed landscape photo.
Yeah.
So 2/3 would be the bottom part, 1/3 the sky. Now the next thing, and this is really good, especially when people are learning about Lightroom, the Lightroom app, is they don't really know where to start. Now the Lightroom has a great auto feature. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the auto feature, and it's always a little icon that looks conveniently like two mountains and little stars, and that's right here. So I'm going to click on that. And while it may not be too much difference, what we did see is a more vibrant green and a little bit more blue in the sky. Let me back up here.
Yeah,
watch
do it
carefully.
one more time.
So here's the undo, and now I'm going to do the redo. It's very subtle, but we don't want to go overboard. So that's why I find that Lightroom's auto feature is actually far better than others, because it doesn't produce garish colors and it looks really natural.
And you know what, Mark? As a colorblind person myself who has trouble editing photos, I can see a minor difference, which is an extreme difference for people with my eyes. So
Well, the auto feature will definitely help you for pretty much any of your work. So what we're going to do for this shot is, I really love black and white for landscapes. So we're going to go down to the profile. It's at the very bottom, and it looks like two interconnecting circles. So we're going to click on it, and as you can see, because I love black and white, I already have black and white profiles already set up, and there's quite a few of them. And I'm just going to cycle through the black and whites, and I just want you to tell me which one you like better. So this is landscape. Now it's very convenient because we have a landscape here. This is high contrast. This is punch. And by the way, punch is usually what people like the most because it provides a punch. Here's low contrast. Not many people like that, except sometimes people like what's called the matte look, M-A-T-T-E, and wedding photographers use this a lot. Here's flat, which is another type of matte. Soft focus, infrared, selenium has a bit of a color tone, and everyone knows sepia tone, and split tone. So what were you thinking is your favorite?
Well, I mean, if you went to the low contrast for a second, you were saying this is people's least favorite?
Well, no, not necessarily. Usually, like for certain types of photos, like wedding photography, or family photos or anything, that matte look is really popular. For landscapes, it doesn't really do so well. It's more with a picture with a person in it.
And I only wanted to look at it again because of, it looks, if you were going to have a horror or a thrilling scene on it, it just has that tone which it darkens, it makes it just a little bit more frightening without trying too hard, let's say. But you know what, I know I'm gonna maybe go with a stereotype here, but I really did like the punch.
Well, let's go to punch. I agree, by the way, that looks amazing. So because we're going to go with punch, we're going to accept it by pressing the check mark. And there we go. And it's that simple. And there's nothing wrong with using profiles.
Thank you so much, Mark. I knew minimal about this going in, and I'm definitely more confident to tackle it. And when I become even more confident, those photos will be coming your way, and I can't wait to get some feedback.
That was so fun. I really enjoyed working with Cameron on editing his photo. And I'm really excited about what Cameron's going to do now that he has sort of a good understanding of Adobe Lightroom for mobile. This app is so powerful, and the wonderful thing is it's free. I hope you enjoyed it as well, and that you can use the Adobe Lightroom app to make your photos really stand out.